Okay, I took pictures and everything, but I'm going to do a video to kind of explain some of this in case any of it doesn't make sense. Step 1, you are going to need two 53-inch 2x6 or 2x4. Okay, I wrote this up using 2x4 and 2x6. Just to give you an idea, basically the way I wrote this up is your cross members here are 2x6. So basically if it's horizontal, it's 2x6. If it's vertical, 2x4. You can do it all 2x4, and I'll go into that in a minute. Anyway, go back. Step 1. So you're going to start off, you're going to make a box. With this box, you're going to have two 53-inch long 2x6, and then you're going to have 5 or 6 16-inchers. The reason why I say 5 or 6, I wrote this up for 5. Okay, you'll see there's 1, 2, there's 2 here, 2 here, and 1 in the middle. So 2, 4, 5. One thing you could do if you want, instead of having 1 in the middle, you could have 2 right here. And that's what I did on mine. I actually didn't have 1 in the center, I have 2 that are offset. You can add as much horizontal as you want, support as you want. It's up to you. The way this is designed, the edge of your tank is going to be sitting almost directly over the inside of this 2x4. So it's up to you. If you want to add more, go for it. But for the sake of this, I wrote this up with 5. Okay. So you got two 53-inchers, two 16-inchers, and then you got a 53 by 19-inch, half-inch thick piece of plywood. Those are the things you need for this. Okay, you're going to build 2 of these, so you actually need twice. You're going to need 4 of the 53-inchers, and you're going to need 10 of the 16-inchers, and you're going to need 2 of the half-inch thick 53 by 19-inch pieces of plywood, because you're building 2 of these boxes. Okay. Once you put this together, what you're going to do is you're going to start off with the outside box. You're going to take your 53-inchers here, and you're going to screw in this outside here and this outside piece here. Once you got that built, and you make sure everything's square, and you attach your 2 inside 16-inchers and then your center 16-incher, and essentially you then have a box. You're going to build 2 of these. Once you build 2 of these and everything's square, put your piece of plywood on top, screw it down. Okay, make sure they're flat and level. You can also use foam if you want on top of it later, but for just the sake of building the stand, we'll just leave it at that. So you're going to build 2 of those. Once you have the 2 of those built, you're going to push one of them off to the side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here, and you're going to, on each corner, you're going to take a 2x4. See, this is example. They're coming straight up. These are vertical. Okay. And you're going to screw in a 2x4 on each corner. So you'll have 4 44-inch 2x4s screwed in to each corner. You have them coming up. Once you have those in place, then keep in mind I did this for 2x6 on the for the boxes, so we'll come back to that. If you go with 2x6s, you're going to want to do 4 of the 32-inch 2x4s. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to set those on top of the inside of the box. They're going to be sitting. Where'd that picture go? Basically, sorry about the lighting on this. They're going to be sitting inside this 2x4. So they're going to be sitting on the corner of your box. Part of it's going to be overlapping this 16-inch 2x6. Part of it's going to be lapping over the 53-inch right here. Okay. So once you have that built, or have those screwed in place, you should have 4 on each corner. Here, once that's done, pretty simple from there. You just take your second box and you set it on top. Once you set it on top of the 4 corners of the inside 2x4s, make sure everything again is level, square, screw it in place. So basically what's going on is this inside box is putting all of its weight onto this 2x4. This inside 2x4 is actually your weight-bearing 2x4s. The outside 2x4s, more or less, are just holding everything together. So once you have those all screwed in place, the stand's pretty much done, and all you got to do is paint it or varnish it or whatever you want to do to it. Now I'm going to go back, and I said that you could also Oops, I got all this mixed up now. I said you could use 2x4s for the boxes, okay? So I did calculate that. Hopefully I got it all right. So if you want to double check my numbers, go for it. This is basically roughly based off what I built. So I put here you can use 2x4s, but the bottom tank will sit lower. Obviously, because 2x4 is roughly 3.5 inches, 2x6 is 5.5. Here in a second, I'm going to show you my 180-gallon aquarium stand, just to kind of give you a rough idea on how it all goes together. But say you go ahead and do this with 2x4s. Okay, do it with 2x4s. Covered your plywood box, set them off to the side. Do the same thing you would here. You do your 2x4s on the outside. Nothing's changed. Now once you get to the inside portion though, because the 2x4s are shorter in height, they're only 3.5 instead of 5.5. Instead of going 32 inches long on the inside, you're going to go 37. Because you need a longer piece now, because not only is your bottom shorter in height, but so is your upper box. If you do that, that will give you more room above your bottom aquarium also. So that's something you can consider. So if you do go with all 2x4s, make sure this inside piece, they're 37 instead of 32. Okay, and then same thing, stage 4, or step 4, put your box on top, screw it all together. Now right here I've got a list, okay, whoops, hopefully this comes across well. Same thing, I got a list here. Keep in mind, this side is 2x6s involved. This is, let's see, yeah, okay. So we'll start back over here. Got a list. You're going to need 4 of your 53-inch 2x6. You're going to need 10 or 12 16-inchers. You're going to need 4 44 and 4 32. Then you're going to need 2 pieces that are 2 pieces of plywood 1/2 inch thick at 53 by 19. Now, over here, calculated, if you cut the pieces right, you should only need 5 2x6 by 8, so 8-foot long 2x6s, and 4 8-foot long 2x4s. Or if you go with all 2x4s, 9 2x4s, and I forgot to write it, but 1 sheet of plywood. Because you got to remember, these pieces up here, they're over 4 feet long. They are only 19 inches thick. So basically, like, say this is your piece of plywood, because they're over 4 feet long, that, you know, or wait, let me think. Yes, because they're over 4 feet long. Basically, you're cutting off your plywood like this. So what you're going to do is cut your plywood and then cut it here in half. So you got this piece that you can, you know, take 53 inches long and then trim it down to 19. Same with this piece. Take this piece, you know, 53 long, and then trim it down to 19 inches. So 1 sheet of plywood should do you on that. And then basically right here, just a real quick layout, 53 inch across, 53 inch across. You're going to need 2x4s that are 44, 2x4s. I wrote 33, I messed up. I meant to write 32. I should have fixed that. Anyways, oops. 32, not 33. And right here, or 37 inches if you use 2x4s to make the boxes in step 1. Anyways, sorry if I rambled on. I just wanted to do a video of it real quick. That way, if there's any, you know, if any of this doesn't quite make sense. And then, real quick, I'll come over here and show you. Sorry about the messy house. Just give you an idea. Of course, can't really see. Right here, I'm gonna come up to the top. If you can see it, it's kind of dark in my house. Here's the 2x4, okay. And here's the other one right here. So basically, the box, here's the box, all the weight is put onto this inside 2x4, which goes down, transfers the weight directly to the box below. The outer 2x4 here, all that does is hold this together, holds the box here, holds this, stays in place, and then holds the box there. Now, I didn't do all plywood on this one. I put plywood on the top here just because my 110 doesn't quite fit depth-wise. Underneath my 180, there's no plywood whatsoever. I was going to use plywood, but I was under crunch for a budget, and up here in Alaska, wood isn't exactly cheap, so I went ahead and skimped a little on this one, but that's just to give you a rough idea how it goes together anyways. Actually, this one here, and can't really see it. So anyways, it's a real basic put together of how this is, should go together for you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Like I said, if you want, and actually I encourage you, double check my math. Also keep in mind that wood doesn't always come in exact measurements, so it wouldn't hurt to check it. You might get some 2x4s that are 3 1/4, in which case if they're 3 1/4, my math is going to be slightly off. You're going to need to adjust for the height. Let's see if I can find it. Like say you get 2x4s, you decide to do 2x4s here. I did it 2x4 being 3 1/2 inches. It's usually what they are, 37. If your 2x4s are actually 3 1/4, you're really going to need to adjust this to account for that difference, because you figure 1/4 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch there, that's a 1/2 inch, so then you're going to need 37 1/2 inches. So I hope that makes sense. Anyways, like I said, if you got any questions, let me know, and that's it.